Welcome to Somewhere in the Skies Live. We're going to be discussing all the latest UFO news tonight, and that includes this.
Lawmakers demanding that federal agencies turn over a dozen of classified UFO videos, and they only have around a week to do so.
I bring the big check here from the lottery. The lottery website has my picture holding the check, and I've won more than once. It's all real. The aliens are real.
We just had the craziest orb UFO experience.
I showed him the alleged alien UFO video footage that I have in my possession.
Yeah, and it was exactly like that.
UFO enthusiasts have been waiting for this moment for years. They said, Logan, show us the footage, show us the footage. I showed Bob Lazar the footage.
You do know that people have lied during the hearings.
I know that people have lied and they've raised... Now...
Wait, hold on, who's lied and what did they lie about?
Oh, I could never say that.
Why? Are you not allowed to say that?
Reports of flying saucers are nothing new. From the beginning of recorded time, men have been seeing unexplainable things in the sky, and there's no reason to doubt they saw something. The question is, was what they saw really there? And what was it they really saw?
There's nothing to hide. There's nothing to hide at all.
What's up? Welcome to Somewhere in the Skies Live. I am your host, Ryan Sprague. Welcome to all of our YouTube watchers, our Twitter watchers, X, whatever you call it. Twitch, we're on Twitch tonight. I decided to throw Twitch into the party. And welcome everyone to Somewhere in the Skies Live, where we break down all the latest UFO and space-related news. Some of you are probably confused because you're seeing two streams on the channel. This is new. This is new, something we're testing out, where with our streaming software, we can now stream vertically and horizontally. So many of you are watching us in landscape right now, and a lot of you are watching us vertically right now too, you TikTokers and you YouTube short watchers. This is something that our streaming platform offers now, and we thought, what the heck, let's see if it works. And good Lord, did it work. Our last video shot up with those vertical watchers. So you're probably seeing me really up close right now in your vertical. And I know it's a little weird when you're watching videos and stuff, but we'll figure it out as time goes on. But we're happy to have all of you here. If you are watching on X, I would highly suggest coming over to YouTube. We have a very active and very passionate live chat going with all of our regulars. I see some new names as well, and we have awesome discussions all night as we break down all of these stories. So come join our awesome Somewhere in the Skies YouTube community and join us over on YouTube, just youtube.com/Somewhere Skies. If you're watching over on Twitter or even Twitch, I know some people are watching on Twitch. I think your comments show up here. I thought I saw someone watching on Twitch. So yeah. What are you guys drinking tonight? Before we start, I want to know in the chat. I'm back on the beer, and I've got this lovely Belgian Le Chouffe cherry. So it is actually, I haven't tasted it yet. Do you guys want to see? Want to see my first sip of the old Chouffe? Ooh. Holy shit. Sorry. That is incredible. Le Chouffe is a really good beer. Usually it's like a wheat beer or a Hefeweizen. But this is their cherry flavored, sort of like a framboise, I guess you would call it. I thought it was gonna taste like cough medicine. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of these cherry flavored beers usually taste so gross, but this is delicious. Cherry Coke. Cheers. Cheers to you with the cherry beer. Holy shoof. Love it. White Claw, let's get weird, Andrew says. Gotta love the White Claw, baby. Gotta love the White Claw. I'm imagining you under the bleachers at like a high school football game, sneaking the White Claws. I'm just kidding, man. I'm just kidding. What are you guys drinking? I see you putting it in the chat. I love it. Hello, Amanda. Good to see you here. Hello to all our regulars. Love seeing it. Love seeing it. We have so much to cover tonight, guys. I'm gonna try to breeze through this first half of the show so that we can bring in our incredible moderator and co-host, Suzanne Landers, who will be joining us to break down some of the bigger stories of the week. Green tea, love it, love it. Lemon water. Johan, you are such a responsible person. Just drinking an Irish breakfast tea. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. It's 9:12 p.m. here. That's why I'm drinking beer. Or else I'd still be on the coffee and stuff. But yeah. That's Sue Sprague, if anyone was wondering who the mysterious woman is in my on my shelf there. That is my beautiful late mother, Susan Sprague. Like who's this random framed photo in the background of some blonde haired blue-eyed woman? That is my lovely mother. Yeah, I thought she should join us tonight for sure. And keep an eye on me. Make sure I behave. Okay. Before we get to the news, guys, I want to take just a few moments to thank our brand new Patreon subscribers and our YouTube members. Now, I have to be honest, I haven't kept up with our YouTube members. And for those of you who are YouTube members, I apologize. And I'm going to make up for it. You now have all the benefits and perks of Patreon subscribers as well right here on YouTube if you become a YouTube member. There is a link in the show notes on how you can join. And it's pretty easy. Couple clicks and you're in. You get early access to the podcast episodes. You get priority to ask guests listener questions. Your episodes of the podcast are all ad-free as well. So those are just a few of the benefits you get by becoming a YouTube member or a Patreon subscriber. So I want to give a special thanks to Maureen G, Chris M, Erica H, AAABBB, Timothy F, Pamela P, and we got a brand new YouTube member I saw just tonight, and that is Hut9999. So again, a huge shout out and thank you to all of you who have joined. If you'd like to learn more about helping us out, supporting our work, and getting a ton of benefits in return, you can do that at patreon.com/somewhereskies. Or you could become a YouTube member as well. Link is in the show notes for that. We also offer Apple Premium for those who just like to listen to the podcast. You could become an Apple Premium subscriber and get all of those benefits as well. Click that subscribe at the top of your Apple feed if you're just a listener of these live streams that we put on the podcast every Wednesday. Cool. So thank you to all of you who have who've joined and who will join. Truly appreciate all of your support. Let's see here. Super chat and super stickers are open too. If you guys want to help out that way, you don't have to become a Patreon subscriber, YouTube member. You want to help us one easy way, you can do that in the super chat or super stickers. We have a goal of 5 of those tonight. So if we reach that goal, I'll start stripping these clothes off, baby. You let me know. I'll go as far as you guys need. Oh, sorry. My mom's watching. Never mind. Please help us out if you can. Please and thank you. On that same note, we have a couple brand new Apple podcast reviews and Spotify comments that I want to read out to you guys here. Over on Apple, Jeffrey 17 says, a great UFO pod, 5 stars. Plenty of podcasts present themselves as UAP centric, but lack content when scrutinized. Ryan faithfully sticks with the subject matter and doesn't veer into kook country. Thank you, Jeffrey. Appreciate that. We get a little kooky every now and again because I do believe this extremely enigmatic and tricksterish phenomenon deserves it. And we have to. We got to get kooky and woo sometimes. We're going to definitely get a little woo later in the show. That's for sure. Backwoods 69. How immature of me. Backwood69 says, just got into this podcast. This is probably the third episode I've listened to, and so far I will say I love it. Easy to listen to, great topics, factual, and very interesting. Keep up the great work, y'all. I will keep listening. Thank you so much, Backwoods. That's over on Spotify. Truly, truly do appreciate that. So guys, if you rate and review the podcast on Apple, you can leave a review and you're going to put this code word in. You got it? We have a code word for you every week. And if you put that into your rating and review on Apple, we will shout you out on the next live stream like we're doing right now with Jeffrey and Backwoods. So your code word for today is orb. Very simple. ORB. Put that in your Apple podcast review or put it in a comment on Spotify. When this episode goes up on Spotify on Wednesday, if you put the word orb somewhere in your comment, I will know that you watched and or listened to this episode, and we'll shout you out. We'll shout you out on the next one. So there you go. That is your word of the day. And yes, Michael Huntington, we did use orb for a reason. As we will get to. Good to see you here, my man. Good to see you here. All right. What do we got? What do we got? That's enough. Let's get to our first story of the night, guys. Artemis II crew has landed back on Earth. We have been following this story from the beginning. We live streamed the entire Artemis launch, Suzanne and I did, and we also live streamed the entire moon flyby, the lunar flyby. It was something like what, Suzanne, 7 hours or something we live streamed? Yeah. 8 hours long. Good Lord. But worth every second. They succeeded. This mission could not have gone better, and neither could their touchdown back on Earth. So NASA's Artemis II mission successfully returned to Earth with a textbook splashdown in the Pacific Ocean, marking the first time humans have traveled around the moon and come back safely in over 50 years. Historic. The 4-astronaut crew completed a roughly 10-day journey aboard the Orion spacecraft, re-entering Earth's atmosphere at extreme speeds and enduring intense heat before parachuting into the ocean, where recovery teams quickly secured them. The mission tested critical systems for future lunar exploration and proved that the spacecraft's ability to handle deep space travel and re-entry, and is being hailed as a major milestone, paving the way for upcoming missions that aim to land humans back on the moon later this decade. Let's hear from the astronauts, guys, because they all came back and gave the most heartfelt, emotional little speeches that I have ever seen. Good Lord, was I blubbering like a little schoolgirl watching this. It was beautiful and inspirational. So I'm going to play a video for you guys, a little montage of the 4 astronauts giving their kind of, first initial thoughts after making it back to Earth, after a 3-year preparation for this mission. So we're going to hear from Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Jeremy Hansen, and Christina Koch right now. So give this a watch. You will not regret it.
Victor, Christina, and Jeremy, we are bonded forever. And no one down here is ever going to know what the 4 of us just went through. And it was the most special thing that will ever happen in my life. And our families are over here, and with the exception of Dot, Susie, and Jeannie, who are in the audience, but I don't know where they are. But Dot, I'm going to hit McDonald's later today in honor of your husband. No one knows what the families went through, man. This was not easy. Being 200,000 plus miles away from home, like before you launch, it feels like it's the greatest dream on earth. And when you're out there, you just want to get back to your families and your friends. It's a special thing to be a human, and it's a special thing to be on planet Earth. Thank you.
And now we're ready for questions. I'm gonna keep it brief because I'm afraid to start talking. I have not processed what we just did, and I'm afraid to start even trying. When this started on April 3rd, I wanted to thank God in public, and I want to thank God again, because even bigger than my challenge trying to describe what we went through, the gratitude of seeing what we saw, doing what we did, and being with who I was with, it's too big to just be in one body. And I wanted to thank our families for everything that he just said. So great words, great words, great words. I love you, but not just those 5 beautiful cocoa skin ladies right there. All of you. And I wanted to thank our leadership. And it's changed since we were here in April of 2023, but the qualities haven't. And we are fortunate to be in this agency at this time together. And so I'm going to sit down. Thank you also to our air operations for this facility and for our ride home from San Diego. And I love you. Thank you.
Someone asked the question, what makes a crew? What is different about a crew than a team? And I was like, I got this. Opened my mouth confidently to tell them everything I knew about being a crewmate. And everything that came out of my mouth was completely without value. I was like, yeah, crews, they're in space and they work together, but they eat together too. So, they're a crew. And boats have crews, you're a crew if you're on a boat. Helps if you have a paddle. That'll be good. That'll make you a crew. But the last 10 days, I've gotten a little bit of a better answer on that question. A crew is people or, a group that is in it all the time, no matter what, that is stroking together every minute with the same purpose, that is willing to sacrifice silently for each other, that gives grace, that holds accountable. A crew has the same cares and the same needs. And a crew is inescapably, beautifully, dutifully linked. So when we saw Tiny Earth, people asked our crew what impressions we had. And honestly, what struck me wasn't necessarily just Earth, it was all the blackness around it. Earth was just this lifeboat hanging undisturbingly in the universe. Uh-oh. So I may have not learned, I know I haven't learned, everything that this journey has yet to teach me. But there's one new thing I know, and that is, planet Earth, you are a crew. Yeah. Thank you.
You guys got to cut it out, man.
We have a term in our crew that we coined a long time ago, the joy train. And sounds like you saw a lot of joy up there. There was a lot of joy. We're not always on the joy train, this crew. There are many times we're not on the joy train, but we are committed to getting back on the joy train as soon as we can. And that is a useful life skill for any team trying to get something done. And the last one is, I need your help for this. Come on up here, guys. The last one is love. What you saw was a group of people who loved contributing, having meaningful contribution, and extracting joy out of that. And what we've been hearing is that was something special for you to witness. And the reason I had them form up here with me is because I would suggest to you that when you look up here, you're not looking at us. We are a mirror reflecting you. And if you like what you see, then just look a little deeper. This is you.
Dude, come on.
Wow. Incredible. I couldn't put it better myself. It was so cool to hear from all of them. And I know as time goes on, they'll have a lot more time to reflect on the bigger questions of literally seeing their planet from a distance and achieving something that very few human beings ever have or ever will. It's just incredible. And they're all right. This world is in a very rough spot right now. I never want to completely give up on the world or be a defeatist. There are many beautiful things happening every single day around the entire world. And I hope we can all stop and take these four incredible heroes, in my opinion, their words to heart. We are a crew, the whole planet. The whole planet. You know, we might not get along all the time. As I'm literally saying this, there are people dying in wars across the globe. My home country is a part of practically all of them, which I am not proud of, but there are many who fight and rail against that, these unnecessary wars. And I think it's important to look at these four people who are doing the bravest thing we can possibly do. Leave our planet to further explore the universe for future missions. And we all have our opinions on what NASA is and what the true motivations behind their missions are, and, you know, planetary dominance, one-upping Russia and China and all that stuff. And it's all political, blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, these four people risked their lives for science and for us. And I just think it's amazing. I think it's absolutely amazing. So I salute them. I'm so happy they're back. And we got more missions to go, guys. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. Some people are telling me that they can't comment on the vertical version. I'm sorry, I don't know how that works yet. So if you're watching the vertical version, I'd say head over to the landscape version of the live stream where your chats, I believe, will show up. That's unfortunate. Clearly, our StreamYard software hasn't figured that one out quite yet. But we'll try. We'll try next week for sure. But yeah, if you're watching the vertical version right now, go back to our channel, like the homepage, and you'll see two of the same stream. One of them's the landscape, the widescreen, and that's where I think all the chats are showing up. So we'll try to figure that out in the future. So apologies for that, guys. But yeah, I want to try to get all your voices in here. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's move to our next story, which brings us to country music, something my family loves and I absolutely disdain. However, this is an interesting story with one of today's hottest country music stars out there. Her name is Kacey Musgraves. Admittedly, have never heard a single song. I'd play it right now, but I'm afraid to get copyright strike. So I'll have to check it out later. But this happened just like a day and a half ago, where she put this out on her Instagram. Country singer Kacey Musgraves alleges UFOs followed her airplane. Wow. The Grammy Award winning superstar took to Instagram to share her experience, which left her spooked and unable to sleep. So let's go ahead and watch her Instagram video. And it also includes, I believe, the actual video she took out of her plane window of these alleged UFOs. So let me go ahead and find that here for you guys. Here is Kacey Musgraves talking about her midair flight alleged UFO. Let's give this a watch.
So I just got off a plane. I flew from Fort Worth to Nashville. It was me and one of my managers, Bobby. And we just had the craziest orb UFO experience. He saw it with me. This is not the first time I've seen many crazy things. I mean, literally, keep looking up. I've seen fire burning in the sky, things that I can't explain. So yeah, this is not the first time, but we just watched these orbs. There was 3 of them. I noticed them. I'm a noticer. I'm always noticing things, but I was about to lay down and take a nap, and I saw these lights that caught my eye that just didn't look normal. And I watched them for a minute, and they were definitely like trailing each other, moving. Anyways, they were about 50,000 feet up probably. We watched them for maybe like 45 minutes. I have videos. I'm going to post them. Yeah, it looks like I filmed on my toaster, but that's the quality. That's what we're working with. I have an iPhone 17. So like, but it was just hard to focus because they were far off and it's night time. But like, these orbs were not moving like any craft that we can control. They were intermittently coming and going, forming triangle patterns. They were kind of an orangish color. Sometimes they would get extremely bright and change color, change size. The craziest thing is, so they followed us from about Little Rock area. That's when I noticed them, all the way to Nashville. And we landed, and Bobby and I were like, oh my God, like this was insane. Anyway, the pilots, come back, open the door, whatever. And we're like, did y'all just see something weird? And they're like, 3 orbs, off in the sky. And we were like, yeah. And both pilots were laughing kind of, and they were like, yeah, we've seen these every single night. And all the other pilots are seeing them too. And nobody knows what they are. And one of the pilots said, yeah, I was in New York last night and I saw him. And the other pilot said, yeah, and I was in Dallas and I saw him also. So I just made it back home, and I'm of course like, holy, like how am I going to sleep? I just saw another one. So is anyone else seeing these out there?
Interesting. All right. What do you guys think? What did Miss Kacey Musgraves see? Yeah, cell phone videos suck. They always do. I know. That one wasn't bad. When she was able to capture it a little closer, it looked pretty interesting for sure. I love how someone said in the chat, I love that the pilots are apparently taking the just ignore it and it'll go away strategy. For sure, man. For sure. Well, okay. She clearly was a little concerned about what she had seen. She said the orbs like followed her after that and stuff. But what could be some of the explanations for that? I see you guys popping off in the chat about it, what it could be, what it couldn't be. A lot of musicians see these things. Yeah, because they travel a lot. A lot of wrestlers have seen UFOs. Athletes, they all report them because they're all flying so much. It's crazy. Well, one person thinks they solved it. Take a wild guess who that person is. Mick West. So, Mick West put this up on his old X account. He said, Kacey Musgraves UFO sighting video has been identified as being 100% consistent with Starlink Horizon flares. Her plane was in the flare zone for the entire flight, and the flares appeared in the right position, moving and fading at the same speed as seen on the video. If she could share the exact time the video was recorded, then we could identify the exact satellites. Okay. Well, that solves it, I guess. We give Mick West crap, guys, but you know what? He's probably right. And we should shout out Flarky, whoever Mick West tagged in this. I think he was the one who originally kind of looked at this and was able to debunk it and figure out that it was Starlink related. I watched the video. It's pretty convincing. I'm not going to lie. But we don't know. I don't know. Mick West is right. As you know, he always says, even when he argues with these people about what the Tic Tac was and all this, he says, okay, we need the time this was recorded, and then we can really figure it out for sure. Same with the Tic Tac. They are lacking data, therefore they cannot come to a solid conclusion on what that is or what it isn't. But Mick West got a response from Miss Kacey Musgraves, and you could see she's got the mouth of a sailor. Makes sense for a country singer, right? She's got some sass to her. I like it. I like it. This was her response to Mick West. Hey, Mick, if you zoom way into the videos, you can also see a really clear angle of Bigfoot riding your mom. No, your video didn't freeze. That's me taking this in. She don't play, Donnie says. I love that a Grammy-winning country star just told the biggest UFO skeptic in the UFO community that Bigfoot... I'm not going to repeat it. This is hard because I want to laugh and I want to joke, but like, guys, we need people to be skeptical of things. I always tell people, if we can solve a UFO case with a prosaic explanation, that's a good thing. That is a very good thing. I personally found Mick West and F. Larky's data and explanation convincing, but I don't speak for everyone. We're going to talk about another orb in just a little bit, which I know millions of people believe. But yeah, I thought this was interesting. I thought it was hilarious, but I would say that I do believe this has been solved. However, that does not explain the orbs that followed her home, does it? And maybe she's had other sightings as well. But yeah, I thought this is an interesting story. It was kind of funny. But end of the day, we just don't know. We don't know what those things were or weren't. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at with the Kacey Musgraves orbs. Which again, is your code word for tonight for your Spotify and Apple reviews. Orb. Hello to all our new people in the chat. So good to see you guys here. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. If you're just joining us, guys, again, we have a vertical version and a landscape version of the live stream tonight. A lot of the vertical version comments are not coming through. That is not our fault. It is StreamYard, the software we use. Hopefully they will figure that out, how we can get all your comments in one place. But we'll try to figure that out. If you really want us to read your comments, I would highly suggest going back onto our home screen of the channel and clicking on the landscape version. That's the widescreen version. Yeah. Hello, screen. Good to see you here. Paula is here as well. Welcome. Good to see you guys. Welcome. McNog is here. Hello. Welcome to the party, guys. We're glad to have you here. We just talked about a Grammy-winning country star telling a UFO skeptic that Bigfoot was riding his mom. And how's your Sunday night? Yeah. Okay. Speaking of orbs, guess who posted a new orb video? Our Lord and Savior, Christopher Bledsoe. Praise be to the lady. I'm sorry. Guys, I'm a Christian. I was a freaking altar boy, dude. Like, I'm religious. I got a crucifix up on my wall. I pray almost every single night. I have so much to be thankful for and grateful for, and I feel so blessed. But I cannot help but just laugh at this. How unbelievably ridiculous the entire Christopher Bledsoe story has become. And I do not fault him entirely. I want to be very clear. I do believe that Christopher Bledsoe has had legitimate, genuine UFO experiences. I would never take that away from him. But this happens all the time, where the story grows, it festers, it becomes something so unrecognizable from the initial experience that it becomes a religion. And I feel like that's where we are. I jokingly have this image of him praying to an orb, but guys, he does this. And I'm torn because it could be spiritual. These anomalous phenomena he's experiencing could be miraculous, could be something godlike. But it's the way it's handled and it's the way these things go. Let's watch. Let's watch the orb video that Christopher Bledsoe posted just a couple days ago. I want to get your thoughts on it. Let me find it here. Okay. Here's the quote unquote raw original video of the purple orb that Chris Bledsoe posted. There is no audio for this, guys, which is weird. Why is there no audio? There it is. So, what do you guys think? That clearly was not the original. There was a cut there. I tried to find the most original one I could. Fertilized egg. Ouch. A couple questions. Why is there no audio in the original? I checked on his Facebook, no audio. Why is it pitch black? Like, has he zoomed in so far that there's no stars in the sky? I don't understand. It looked like a black matte background with this purple orb, which many believe could be a water droplet filmed very up close, or a camera put up to a, what do you call that, peephole of a door. You get that like fisheye perspective. I mean, just looking at this image here, it looks like a fisheye reflection of a room. I don't know. Some people think they know. We have this post here that came from Trollin Ryler. And they said, sorry, I gotta debunked. Went frame by frame and found a few frames where camera autofocus moves and you can see a fisheye reflection. Looks like a front porch with a railing and overhang, maybe an open garage door and support beams. It's a water droplet up close, maybe dew in a spider web. Ooh, interesting. There's also another video that I found of someone who talked about this orb and a debunking of it. And that was the YouTube channel Sling and Stone Live. Where I have put a link to the video in our show notes. So you can go check out the entire video that they did. I'm new to that channel. So shout out to Sling and Stone Live. And I hope it's okay that we play this clip because they go into another debunk of this purple orb as well. So I'm going to go ahead and play that for you guys. Get your thoughts on this debunk. Give this a watch.
Look here, okay? This is a video that people, that Mr. Bledsoe has put out. So, okay, here's some of the evidence that we are looking at here. So that's the orb video Chris just put out. Now, Cole Squires on X has shown exactly how Chris Bledsoe made that video.
Come with me as I turn this porch light into a UFO. Oh my gosh, guys.
What's up, Brian?
First of all, there's an orb. You see the orb? See the blue orb? Oh, it's in front of my finger now. Here, I'm going to put the orb onto the light point that we're going to turn into a UFO. That light point right there, okay? So I'm going to get that light point out of focus.
Here's how Chris is making these videos.
And now we're going to ask AI to up-res that photo.
You find an orb, you film it like a lens flare.
100% of the time. It takes the fuzzy exterior of a bokeh and it turns it into a glassy sphere with something in the center. I also made this one with a random out of focus point of light in a different video from Chris Bledsoe. Notice that it looks identical to the thing that he is calling an unedited image of an orb. Never listen to Peter Osborne or Chris Bledsoe using the words raw or unedited. They don't know what those words mean.
Yes, so there we go. Now we see exactly how Chris is making it. You can see how these two things look. I mean, exactly like what Chris is putting out. They look like these cell things floating in the sky. And this guy showed exactly how this is done. Just like Chris is here. You can see the two compared. 100% exactly the same. That's exactly what's going on. Chris is lying about these images. And just like somebody else has pointed out, let's take a look here. You can see the reflection of a person in the orb. You can see the silhouette of a person standing there. This looks like their back porch or something. And just like the guy in the previous video did, he caught a light in the camera, created the lens flare that pops up, and then he enhanced it with AI and zooming in on it. So we can see the person here standing and the silhouette of the door, and that's what's happening. This is not a thing that is manifested and shown in the sky. Just like Chris Bledsoe's orbs that he's just out of nowhere started getting these incredible up-close images of. Trying to find, he also had one. Sorry, I didn't have it pulled up, but he posted another one recently too with like numbers in it. It looks just like this. The guy who's enhancing it, he knows it. He knows these people. It's like this guy's massive deception. And so I don't even know if he's told his kids about this. I really don't, because his kids are way doing the same exact, like following this thing and believing this, just like Ryan Bledsoe here is saying.
What do you guys think? Were those debunks convincing or not? It's hard. 100% fake, someone says. Agreed. I do think it's part pareidolia. Can't tell. Yeah. Okay. So, this is the problem. When you go to a debunker's explanation, you're reading the explanation and then looking at the video. So pareidolia is 100% in effect. I can't deny that. But I'll say when I first saw the video, it looked to me like there was, I could tell there was a reflection inside the orb. Now, that doesn't mean it's fake. this anomalous orb could reflect. If it's translucent, if it's some sort of weird liquid or like, I don't know, gaseous sort of thing, like it could have a reflection and the person video taping or recording it would be seen in that, which is apparently Chris Bledsoe. But there's just so much missing from this. It's just, I don't know. These explanations seem convincing to me, but I don't know. And nobody knows. And the real problem I have with this is stuff like this. Let me pull it up here. Here is Chris Bledsoe's son, Ryan Bledsoe, commenting on the video. We've been getting a lot of questions about how Dad made these videos. It's actually quite simple. First, you humble your heart before God and the Holy Spirit. Then you say a little prayer asking if they would be willing to give you a sign. Finally, you just point the camera up at the subject and record once it materializes. High definition camera recommended. We will bring you cameras and witnesses to help you show the world. That's what this miraculous lady told Christopher Bledsoe, that she was going to bring him a Nikon camera. High def, I guess. I don't know. I know hundreds of agnostic people who have experienced the orb phenomenon. I know thousands of people who aren't religious whatsoever and have experienced the orb phenomenon. But not to this family. To this family, unless you humble your heart to God and pray and accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior, you didn't see a real orb. Oh, you said you were abducted by aliens and it was traumatizing to you and it ruined your life? Not to the Bledsoes. No. Because you're not following their dogma. I'm sorry. Your story is bullshit. I don't like how this is going with this family. That's just my simple way of putting it. And I'm trying to be like not dramatic about this, because Ryan Bledsoe could have very good intentions. And if he's clearly religious, I again will not take that away from him. And he's probably a nice guy. But the way I have seen him conduct his social media and the way he has treated other experiencers that don't follow him and his father's journey on the orbs and the white lady and the whatever intelligence officials and NASA and all these weird connections they have with all that, then your story doesn't mean anything. And that's where I have a problem. I firmly wish Chris Bledsoe all the best, but I don't think any of this is helping his case or what his family is trying to get across with their messages. So we'll leave it at that. Maybe it's a real orb. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a water droplet. Maybe it's a what do you call it? A peephole of a door. Maybe it's all fake. Maybe it's all real. I don't know. We weren't there. So I'll give them that. Got us talking, didn't it? Definitely got us talking. Let's talk about another UFO video, shall we? I'm excited about this one. I'm going to try to breeze through this so we can get poor Suzanne in here to talk about our later stories. So let me just start with it, guys. Let me start with it. I see you guys popping off the chat with all your opinions. Thank you. Thank you. This is what we need. We need a good conversation on this. So keep it going in the chat, but I'm going to move on to our next story because this is kind of a fun one. I'm liking this, following these breadcrumbs and whatnot. Logan Paul, who I know from WWE, he's one of the best professional wrestlers out there right now. Horrible human being, but one of the best wrestlers in my opinion. The dichotomy is not lost on me. Oh, this idiot. That's yup, Andrew. We're talking the Chuck Clark UFO video, baby. We are talking about it because Logan Paul has apparently shown the mythical Chuck Clark UFO video to Bob Lazar. James Fox was on the Impulsive podcast. This was a couple of years ago at this point, and he told a story about seeing the greatest UFO footage he's ever seen that was owned by a man named Chuck Clark. So we're going to walk through this story video by video, guys, and kind of show you the evolution of it that's gotten us up to the point where Logan Paul has now shown this video to Bob Lazar, and we, the public, us little plebeians out there in the world who are constantly scratching for those table scraps, we might finally get to see this Chuck Clark video. But let's start with when James Fox was on Logan Paul's podcast to kind of set up this story, shall we? Here we go. All right. So there's the story of the Chuck Clark UFO video and James Fox having seen this. And Logan Paul asked a very valid question. Where is the video and why can't we see it? So Logan Paul did say, I'm going to go find this guy. I'm going to try to get it. And Logan Paul would go to Chuck Clark's home with $100,000 in cash in the middle of nowhere, went to this guy's like RV or wherever he lived, 100K in cash, offering it to him for the video. Chuck Clark would not take the money, but he did show the video to Logan Paul. What happened next? We're going to let James Fox explain to Joe Rogan. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast and explained what Logan Paul did while he was there watching the UFO video, this apparently incredible, most clear UFO video ever taken that James Fox said exists. This is what Logan Paul did, according to James Fox. Let me find that video for you here. Give me one sec. Okay, here we go. Okay, so that's part 2 of the story. Logan Paul would go to Chuck Clark's. Chuck Clark would play this incredible UFO video. Logan Paul secretly had a button camera and recorded the video from different angles and all of that. So Logan Paul is now in possession of the Chuck Clark video, and he also saved himself 100K. Not that he needs to save money, but yeah. So that's where the story was kind of going. We get a little bit more of Logan Paul's side of it in this next clip from the Impulsive podcast that I'm going to play for you guys. Then I got a little tidbit for you guys about something I experienced with James Fox that kind of plays into this story. But let's go ahead and go right to Logan Paul talking about this back on his show. This is after he obtained, stole, retrieved the UFO footage. Okay, let's give this one a watch. Okay.
Only video
So will Bob Lazar help him? Is the question. A lot of people in the chat are saying, "What a hypocrite, man!" Like, you're saying Chuck Clark won't show this to the world. Now you're not showing it to the world. And also your video is gonna suck compared to the one Chuck Clark has because you got it on a button camera. It's probably degraded to hell and like a millionth generation at this point. But I mean, it's there. The video's there. So that's and I found it compelling what he said about, the buoyancy of the craft in the air, the skin of the craft and whatnot, and all that. That was interesting. But at this point, like we only have James Fox, his word on this. We only now have Logan Paul's word on this. It's all interesting, but apparently Logan Paul got in touch with Bob Lazar. So that's gonna get right to our next very short video, I promise. When it comes to this whole thing. Here we go.
And spoke with the man, the myth, the legend, Bob Lazar, the man who worked at Area 51 and personally reverse engineered alien craft. And guess what? I showed him the alleged alien UFO video footage that I have in my possession.
Yeah, and it was exactly like that.
UFO enthusiasts have been waiting for this moment for years. They said, Logan, show us the footage, show us the footage. I showed Bob Lazar the footage. And I did it on my friend Jesse Michael's show. It's called American Alchemy. I think it's coming out sometime in the next week or so. But this alien shit's getting serious.
It's getting serious, guys. So he showed it to Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar said, "Yep, that is just like what I saw." Which I don't understand that because the way Bob Lazar describes what he saw and experienced does not sound like this at all. But maybe I can be swayed. I don't know. It's interesting. So dumb, Michael Huntington says. What I find interesting is that eventually James Fox would see an image of taken from a video that was online of a UFO that a gentleman named Carlos Diaz saw in Mexico. And James Fox would go on to say that that craft in that video looks almost identical to the video I saw. It's not the same video, not the same location or anything like that, but it looked and acted just like that. So what I'm going to do now is play a clip from our really good friend Pavel over at Psychoactivo podcast. He did a whole episode on this story, and he found this really interesting video of Carlos Diaz's of the UFO. So this will give us a better idea of the craft that Logan Paul and James Fox have seen in this, that Chuck Clark has, and that Bob Lazar has now seen. So let's watch this video from our good buddy Pavel. Link is in the show notes to his entire video on this, but I do want to shout him out for doing a lot of the legwork on this. And this video is pretty interesting. So give this a watch, and then we are getting to a commercial and bringing Suzanne in because I do what I always do, and I just go on and on and on. So let's let Pavel talk. This is really cool. Where is it? Here we go.
This tweet from James Fox from 2023. He says, the footage Chuck Clark showed me circa 1995 was something like this, but further back, and it was video. Logan Paul, was this at all what you saw? I know the VHS tape has significantly deteriorated since I saw it. So the image that he showed here is an image from another sighting or alleged sighting from 1981, allegedly, from a man by the name of Carlos Diaz, a Mexican man. And this is the video itself. It doesn't have any sound, but this is the alleged video. And this has been already, according to debunkers, debunked as a lamp, sort of like some sort of a lamp. I don't know if that's the case, to be honest with you, but it's something like this, you know? And the Chuck Clark video allegedly is very much like this one from Carlos Diaz. That close-up is really wild. And the story about Carlos Diaz is that he was taking photography since 1979. And this video and photos were allegedly taken in 1981. But it wasn't until 1991 that he went to Jaime Maussan and showed him this. And that's when the whole case took off. And people within the ufology community in the US were really interested about this one. And yeah, as I've told you multiple times before, every single UFO case in history has a debunk. Regardless of whether it's real or not, every single one has a debunk or a prosaic explanation. That's just how it works. And we really can't do anything about it. So let me show you a few stills of this as well. This is another one. This is one that Carlos Diaz recently showed on Podcast Paranormal with Fepo. This is one of the pictures that, like the OG pictures that he took physically with Fepo and showed it on the show. There's another one. I don't know if this has been edited or not, but this is very similar to what we see in the video. So maybe it's just a still from the video. And then there's this one. And this one has, it's from Tepoztlán, Morelos, according to this. And Tepoztlán is a really magical place. I was there last year myself, and I really enjoy being there. It has a very different energy. Recently, I did a video on Grimberg where they do talk about Tepoztlán and all those places that are rich in ferrite, which is a magnetic mineral, and that there's always really strange activity going on there. So presumably that's the type of thing that Logan Paul has in his possession, and that is what he allegedly showed Bob Lazar. And seemingly, and Bob Lazar, based on the observations that he saw when he was over there, he claims, or apparently he thinks that it's very similar, this video. And we can also add the Carlos Diaz video to it, because according to James Fox, it was very similar to that.
All right. Special thanks to Pavel for letting us play that. I asked him earlier. He was like, for sure, man. So shout out again, link in the show notes to his whole video. I see you guys, a lot of you think all of that was a hoax. I get it. The minute you mention Jaime Maussan, I run for the hills. Totally understand. But they are some interesting videos. The way the skin of the craft is kind of lava-esque and whatnot. And like I said, this does not remind me at all of like the silver sports model UFO that Bob Lazar alleges to have worked on. However, Andrew brought up in the chat, maybe that's what it looks like when it's powered up. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, maybe the thing gets like super hot. It's kind of like, you know, when you got a frying pan going and it gets really, really hot and starts to turn orange. I don't know. Ryan, this could be what the sports model looks like when actually turned on. Yep. Everyone else in the chat is like, this is, I love how Michael Huntington hasn't been in our chat in like forever. And then he comes in tonight. He's like, hoax, fake, dumb. I love you. What would we do without you, Michael Huntington? We got to get back in touch, man. I love it. I think it's an interesting story. Logan Paul's an idiot, but at the end of the day, he's got the money to make people talk. And sometimes that's the only way we're going to get any sort of disclosure on this stuff. Will we see the Chuck Clark video finally on the American Alchemy podcast? Only time will tell. When's it going to drop? Maybe this week. Hint. I don't know that for a fact. I'm just acting like I know that for a fact. I do not. I said I have a small connection to all of this. So when James Fox was here in Scotland, I went up to the Highlands with him to Calvine, which is right outside Pitlochry here in Scotland. And we were looking for the alleged location of the famous Calvine UFO photo. And we're in the car. It was hilarious. James was there, his cameraman, James's sister, and then Craig Lindsay, the RAF press officer who interviewed the original witnesses and photographers of the famous Calvine UFO photo. He was there to help paint the picture for us, bring us to the location, and it was incredible. But while we're in the car, James Fox was like, "Hey, Ryan, have I played this for you? You're a wrestling fan, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, I'm more than a fan. I've got a podcast about it." At the time. And He's like, listen to this voicemail. And he plays this voicemail for me, and it's Logan Paul. And I don't know if James is going to kill me for sharing this. Probably not. I'm not saying anything like explosive. But in this voicemail, Logan Paul had just gotten, had just stolen the video or re-recorded it with Chuck Clark. And in this voicemail, he's like, James, I got it. I got the video. Oh my God. You'll never believe what I did. Blah, 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 blah. He's like, dude, this video is insane. It's crazy. Mind you, this was right after he saw it and obtained it. So I'm sure adrenaline was going. That first time you see it, that rush and all that, you go back and replay it time and time again. You're going to find more maybe that you can, I don't know, debunk or not find as interesting, blah, 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 blah. Logan is now saying, I don't find it that convincing. Well, then why are you sharing it with Bob Lazar? I don't know. But that was my fun little story about Logan Paul right after he had stolen the video, basically. And James played that for me. Hilarious. Only time will tell. Will we finally see the Chuck Clark video on American Alchemy? We will see. Right now, guys, we're going to take a very quick break because I am way over what I said I was going to be for this first half of the show. Commercial break. We're going to bring Suzanne in and get to the bulk of what we're talking about tonight, some of the bigger stories in ufology. So stick with us, check out this commercial, and we will be right back with Somewhere in the Skies Live. Hey guys, Ryan Sprague here from Somewhere in the Skies, and I want to tell you about something that feels like it was specifically made for us. Those of us who have followed every UFO headline, every whistleblower, every UFO sighting and close encounter that literally defined the past year in UFOs. And that is Anomalous Cards. Anomalous Cards are a one-of-a-kind collectible series capturing the top 100 UAP and UFO stories of 2025. Preserved, documented, and brought to life in a format you can actually hold in your hands. We're talking about 100 uniquely designed trading cards, each one representing a pivotal moment in the unfolding UAP conversation. Every single card is individually serial numbered, making each piece of art a limited historical archive. Not just a collectible, but a timestamp of disclosure in motion. And here's where it gets even more exciting. You can collect the full story your way. Grab a complete factory set and own the entire timeline of 2025. Or dive into the thrill of discovery with cello packs and boxes, each containing the chance to uncover exclusive Heroes of Truth insert cards, spotlighting the individuals pushing this mystery into the light. This isn't just memorabilia. It's a curated record of one of the most important years in UAP history. Head over to letsgetanomalous.com right now to grab your set or packs. And for Somewhere in the Skies listeners, you get an exclusive promo code right now for 15% off your order. That promo code is Somewhere15. Again, go to letsgetanomalous.com and use the promo code Somewhere15 for 15% off your order. Because the UFO story is still unfolding, and now you can collect it all with Anomalous Cards. All right, we are back. Let's get anomalous.com. Check them out, guys. I'm getting my packs like in the next few days. I cannot wait to unwrap those. Maybe I'll do a unboxing on YouTube. Those are a thing, right? That'll be super fun. I cannot wait to see those cards. You get 15% off right now with my promo code Somewhere15. Check it out. Let's get anomalous.com. All right. We got some awesome stories coming for you guys. So she needs to help me break these down so that I don't take another 2 hours to go through Logan Paul videos. What is my life? Can you answer that for me? I think she can. Welcome.
Hi. How are you?
Good. I'm good. I'm having a great time drinking my cherry flavored beer tonight. How are you?
I'm good. I have very boring coffee, but in a very fun, let's see, very
Aw.
fun Nomicon.
If you're just listening, yes, Suzanne has an Anomicon mug. I love it. I got to start preparing for Anomicon.
I know, TikTok. It's time.
Dang, September, right? Yeah, I should probably get on
send out
that.
some queries. Yeah.
Yep. Hey, guys, if anyone in the chat, if you think you're an expert on something anomalous and you can give like a 30 to 40-minute presentation, reach out to me through email. I'm serious. Like we're officially right here. We're looking for speakers for Anomicon 2026. There we go.
We're ready.
So what have you thought of the stories we covered so far tonight?
I think, my goodness, this is the best and the worst of ufology, right? And it's also, I think, a snippet picture of exactly what ufology is and the sorting that has to go on.
I agree. I would have to agree. You get the best and the worst here. It's somewhere in the skies.
Exactly. And if YouTube doesn't get its act together over this chat, I hope you guys can see my comments. I can see you, but I can't tag you, except every once in a while it lets me. I don't know what they're doing.
It's, it's this vertical and landscape thing too is messing everything up. It's good for views, but it's bad for our conversations for sure. So we will troubleshoot that in the future, guys. I do want to give a shout out to Constellation Fleet for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate the support. Super chat's open, guys. If you want to help out the show tonight, we have a goal of 5. If you can't help us financially, simply like this video, subscribe, do all that YouTube-y stuff. You know what I found out today, Suzanne?
What?
I was looking at our analytics. 80% of the people that watch our videos are not subscribed to the channel.
Really? And it's so
Isn't
simple
that
and it
insane?
doesn't cost anything. Just hit the button.
Now, that's good in one sense. It means people are finding our videos and they're not even subscribed. So that's awesome. It means new people are watching, but it's so easy. You just click subscribe and you will be notified when our next video drops.
No
So,
money, no drama.
nothing. No drama. Yeah, we've had enough of that for tonight. For sure.
Lots of drama this week.
I do want to make one thing clear before we move forward. I know I give a lot of crap to like Ryan Bledsoe and the Bledsoes and all of that, and sometimes to like
It might be
Corbell.
all on Twitter for everyone to read. We don't know.
Exactly. If you want feisty me, go to my Twitter account. But I want to make it clear, like I am no expert on any of this stuff. I have no more right than anyone else to be judging them or anything. I just point out things that I find problematic when it comes to the messaging they're putting out there, when it comes to this community that I love so much and that I've been a part of since I was freaking 13 years old. And I hold it dear to my heart. It's become my identity in many ways. And I hate to see the sort of things that they're doing where it's like their way or the highway. So I have problems with it, but I don't want people to think I'm like, I don't believe that they've had legitimate experiences. I just wanted to get that out there because I feel like that's how I kind of came off, especially tonight. But yeah, I just wanted to get that little thing out there.
I would throw in the observation too that religion in a topic like this is much like politics in a topic like this. I'm not sure it's helpful because it can be very divisive, and that didn't help the subject and it doesn't help us.
For sure. For sure. And we will have Diana Pasulka back on the show somewhat soon. And her whole thing is like UFOs, religion, and all that. There are correlations, obviously. It's an anomalous phenomena, which,
exactly.
What would like a caveman think if they saw an
iPhone?
7,
or electric car.
For sure.
Pocket Dog, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Pocket Dog. Appreciate it.
So sweet. Hey, Ryan, have we confirmed that Gareth is in the chat?
Gareth?
Gareth?
I thought Gareth, I believe so.
I think he is. I think he is. Hey, Gareth.
Gareth. Gareth. Oh, hold on. I removed you from the screen. Hold on. I did exactly what I wasn't supposed to do.
That's hard.
There we go.
Okay. There we go.
There it is, guys.
That's for Gareth.
That's for you, Gareth. That one was free. That one was free.
Is it Amanda? Someone else was doing that. It's so funny. Yeah, it's Amanda Rose.
That is
There's Gareth.
Awesome t-shirt. I need that t-shirt. Where'd you get that?
somewhere online. The interwebs are like miraculous, right?
Somewhere
Yeah.
online. I love it. I love it. UFO mom.
This is so funny. You guys are so funny.
That's
Oh,
awesome. That's awesome. Hey, maybe we'll have to put a similar one in our shop. There we go.
yeah, we should.
Yeah.
We should.
UFO mom, UFO dad, UFO
Yeah, exactly.
stepson, UFO
Uh-huh.
cousin. We got
Yeah,
it.
dog, cat.
Well, I'll get on that. You know me. I'm like constantly thinking of more ways. Okay. I wasted so much damn time. I promise you we'd go an hour 30. We're at an hour 26. So I'm sorry in advance. But let's
Fine.
get
We're
to these
fine.
stories.
We're fine.
How are you guys doing? We might be going 2 hours tonight. I apologize. That's on me.
That's okay.
What's our first story we're covering with you? Oh, Kirk McConnell.
McConnell.
Heck yeah, I like this guy. He
I
was
did
in
too. And I like what he's doing.
for sure. I was rewatching not the phenomenon, James Fox, the program that Kirk McConnell kind of came forward in. That was the first time he went public about his work in the
Really?
UFO space and stuff he experienced and stuff. So this is an interesting story. Kirk McConnell and the Soul Foundation release a paper on UAP whistleblower restitution fund. Sorry, I'm hiccuping because I'm drinking Le Chouffe. Do you want me to read a little bit here, or do you want to take this one?
No, you go for it.
Kirk McConnell is a former longtime U.S. congressional staffer with over 30 years serving on key defense and intelligence committees, and is now a policy advisor on UAP issues with the Soul Foundation, of which you've gone to 2 of their events so far. Yep.
Right.
So, excuse me, the policy brief he recently authored argues that many individuals with knowledge of classified UAP programs are deterred from reporting to Congress due to credible fears of retaliation, which we have seen, Suzanne, firsthand.
Exactly right.
Yeah. Including job loss, revoked security clearances, legal threats, and even personal safety risks.
Exactly.
High-profile cases and statements from U.S. officials reinforce these fears are widespread and often justified, creating a chilling effect that prevents potentially critical disclosures. To address this, McConnell proposes establishing a UAP whistleblower restitution fund, which you're going to have to break down for me because me don't understand these things. Helping to cover lost wages and expenses of individuals who are deemed credible while encouraging others to come forward. The fund could be administered through the executive branch, Congress, or an independent nonprofit, though each approach has its challenges. Ultimately, the proposal emphasizes that enabling safe and supported whistleblowing is essential for congressional oversight of UAP programs.
Completely.
All right.
Completely agree. We cannot move forward in a substantive and productive way until we fix this problem. And as everybody in the chat probably knows, restitution is just a big fancy legal word for making things whole again. A wrong was done to you, and we're going to make up for it the best way we can, and that's going to be with dollars. These whistleblowers, I know you've heard us talk about this problem, but the economic hatefulness that goes on around them is staggering. And it literally takes these whistleblowers and their families down to the poverty level. And then they monkey with their clearances and they monkey with their job referrals, all from behind the scenes. Nothing provable, tangible, although you can see the impact of it happening. There's no way that these whistleblowers are having this problem in this continual across the board way, and there's not something orchestrated going on. So I think this is a really important step on so many levels. I'm proud of the Soul Foundation too for stepping up and white papering this. You know, there are lots of things people can do with their time and their money, but they paused to take care of some other humans who are really important in this topic.
Absolutely. Now, I guess my question for you is, do you think this has any connection to what someone like Matthew Brown is trying to get off the ground, or do you think this is completely different?
I suspect that they are separate but traveling along a similar path. Might they be talking? They might. They certainly might. And I would suspect that Matthew Brown's story is a motivator to them. And Dylan Borland's as well, several others. David Grush, he experienced significant issues, including safety issues for him and his family. So I think step in the right direction. Not sure who all behind the scenes is for this. I also wonder maybe, Ryan, if we're not having any luck on the UAPDA getting in front of a congressional vote. So maybe they've decided, well, let's cherry pick. Let's cherry pick for a while and see if we can fix some of the problems this way, and then we'll continue to work on the others. Right.
For sure. I feel like every time the UAPDA comes up, it just like
I know
it fizzles out, or it's just like shut down. So I don't know where we stand on it.
And I'm not sure the country at this point, with everything else going on, has the bandwidth for that, right? I think timing can matter dramatically. And this is not a great time for that with everything else going on in the world. So I'm hoping it's a step, and maybe some of the emotional and political clutter that's everywhere right now will stay out of the way of this and just let this quietly move along in a positive way.
Yep. Trying to keep things positive. That's all that really matters. I know there's so much negativity and, snide remarks that even I have been guilty of when it comes to a lot of these UFO stories. But at the end of the day, I do feel a lot of these people have really good motivations and reasons for why they're involved with these things. Maybe some of them think there's like money to be had, but a lot of money is being spent by these organizations.
Good luck on that, right?
Right. Exactly.
Good luck.
Exactly. Hey, speaking of bills.
Yeah.
Let's move to our next story.
Okay.
It's got to do with this man.
Dadgummit it.
That's our sad AI version of
Tim
Burchett right there. So Tim Burchett has made the claim that aliens are definitely real, have visited Earth, and he also, on a side note, wants to get rid of AARO. That was a very whiplash headline right there. But this is interesting. Now, he's recently been kind of going on a bunch of shows and talking about this meeting that he just had recently with like actual military people who have said some really interesting things. There was that story going around that Matt Gaetz, the highly problematic Matt Gaetz, we must stress that.
On so many levels.
Yeah. Had a meeting with like actual uniformed military people who said that there's like an alien human hybrid program going on and the government's aware of this. Crazy story. We did not cover it. I don't want to cover it right now.
No,
however,
let it sit. Yeah.
Let it
let
do
it
its
cook.
thing. Yeah. Let it cook. Yes. Good. But I want to play this video that I can't believe I'm saying this. TMZ did, where they interviewed Tim Burchett about his comments that he's made on these interviews about this meeting that he had, and then we'll move into the AARO part of that because I really want your thoughts on that. So, please bear with me, and I will play this video for you guys. Dadgummit. Here we go.
There have been different reports over the years. Some reports that there have been pieces of machinery that were found that did not seem earthly. And then there have been reports about life that is not earthly. Which one of those two, or both, are you talking about? A form of life that is not earthly, or just something mechanical that's not earthly?
I'd say you'd be safe to say both.
The way you described this, whatever happened at this meeting, this briefing that was happening, was there something that if we knew, we would feel that we are in danger? You said you wouldn't sleep at night if you knew the things that I saw in these briefings.
Yeah.
Should we believe that that's the part where it seemed alarming?
I don't think we're at danger of this. I mean, if these things exist as I think they do, they could have destroyed us with a blink of an eye. I just don't see that. And I think that's, I just think, but I do think they have the technology and the capabilities of something that we can't understand or we can't grasp.
What I want to make sure I'm understanding is a member of our government has told you and others, I guess, that there is a form of alien life and machinery which maybe brought this living creature here that interacted in some form with people?
Yeah, they have, and they've. It's pretty wild. I know, but I'm just telling you, I'm not going to lie to you. I'd take a lie to tell you. You want to put me on a polygraph, I'll take it. But this is what the guy told me. I mean, I've had a very high-ranking naval official describe. I've talked about this before. Underwater craft, something big as a football field, moving at over 200 miles an hour. And there's no fish in the ocean that would do that. We don't even have a sub that'll probably do 40 miles an hour under the. And the last thing he said before he left my office was. It was kind of weird because he didn't go out he went out the side door, which nobody ever uses. And he looked at me, he pulled me up close, he said, "Tim, they're real." And that's the last thing he said to me. That'll be the title of my book, I guess. Matt Gaetz was involved in something here just recently. He was interviewed and he talked about this interbreeding thing with.
We saw that. We saw that.
Well, that's a true story. That was military personnel. I think that would be a good story to talk to him about if you all can do that.
Right. He says he learned that from someone in the military.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a guy who's an officer in uniform. Yeah. And Matt and I and Representative Luna, we all went down to Florida, and we were turned away. And then Matt made a phone call to somebody at the Pentagon, and all of a sudden they opened the doors and brought the pilots in that were supposed to tell us the story in the first place. And he can probably elaborate a little bit more on that, but that was pretty fantastic. That was a made-for-TV special right there in itself.
Oh my goodness!
What do you make of that?
I don't know what to make of that. And you know what it makes me think of? Mark Christopher Ray, is that his name? Mark
Christopher Lee.
Lee.
Mm-hmm.
I think he got played. Is Burchett being played? I don't know. I don't for a moment think you're going to knock on the gates of a secure facility and they open the door and they're going to show you everything. But I don't know. I also think it's an extremely human-centric perspective that they're coming to us from there, wherever there is, out there somewhere. I don't know that we know that. Everybody needs to simmer down. I have an idea. Let's study it.
Mm-hmm. I recall you saying that last week too.
Yeah, and then let's tell the truth.
Let's tell the truth. For sure. Thank you so much for the super chat, Michelle. Truly do appreciate
so
that
nice
as well.
I love this spicy chat today. I'm so mad I can't reply very well in it. YouTube needs to get its act together.
It does. I know. Yeah, I'm with you on all of that. It does seem like a lot of these Congress members are kind of chasing shadows, as we say in the UFO field, of these stories and whatnot. That's why I give credit to Eric Burlinson, who's actually like going out and investigating and whatnot.
And he's
Burchett's
calm
his own.
about it. He doesn't cross the crazy boundaries
For sure.
of speculation. He's just letting it roll.
Letting it roll. I know. What did Jay Owen say? The chat is muy picante.
Picante ahora.
Very hot right now. Very spicy.
Very spicy.
I love it.
You're getting all of that from Ryan Sprague on Twitter.
For sure,
What's
man.
happening.
Ghost pepper right there.
Yeah, right there.
Is muy picante.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, he was mentioning a very high-ranking Navy person that he talked to.
Sounds like Tim Gallaudet to me. What about you? Who do you think it is?
It's funny you mentioned that.
Oh,
guess who I just confirmed is coming on Somewhere in the Skies.
If you don't let me get on that, I'm gonna be so mad.
Oh, you're there.
So
You're so there.
good. He's a little bit of a rock star to me. We do not align politically, but I do admire his courage.
Yeah,
and his
he's a nice
experience.
guy.
Yeah,
for sure. Yes, Tim Gallaudet will be coming on the Somewhere in the Skies
I'm so
podcast.
excited.
Yep.
I
I
think
just
you're
confirmed it
learning the
today.
same time I'm learning. It's very exciting.
Yep. Breaking news. Yeah, he's got a new book coming out or something. So I'm going to be talking to him in the coming months. So be on the lookout
How
for
wonderful.
that as well, guys. Oh, thank you, Garrett, for the t-shirt UFO. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, second part of this story.
All right.
Tim Burchett is putting his money where his mouth is with how sick he is of things like the official Pentagon UFO office, AARO.
Yeah.
A lot of people are just sick of, everything going on with AARO. And he has proposed a new bill. I'm going to read this out. Burchett has introduced new legislation aimed at dismantling the Pentagon's UFO investigative body, AARO. The proposed bill would eliminate the office entirely, redistributing its responsibilities across various branches of the DoD, or DOW, I guess now, while also prohibiting the creation of any future centralized authority dedicated to UAP. Established in 2022, AARO was tasked with examining reports of UFOs, but its March 2024 report concluded there was no empirical evidence of any alien technology. Burchett, however, has remained a vocal critic, long arguing that federal agencies have engaged in a decades-long cover-up surrounding UFO encounters and related intelligence, as we just heard in that clip of what he has heard. So what do you think about now it's like in legislation that they're trying to dissolve AARO?
I wish I could understand the motivation. Part of me wonders, I go two different ways. One is he's just frustrated, cut them off, shut their money down. Let's use that money differently. I would understand that. But what that would do is give them time and motivation to hide the ball further or deeper, right? So I'm not sure that's the best plan, but obviously you and I are not in those rooms understanding all the pieces. But maybe, and this is just an alternative theory, maybe he has figured out where the dam is, I guess is the best way to say it, the dam in data that would normally flow through where or who it is in AARO, it's stopping it. And he wants to undam it, so I don't know. I think we're going to have to watch this one, see what happens. It could also just be, y'all have ticked me off, I'm done. I don't know. I'm hoping that there's some substance to it and it's not just some emotional reaction.
Yeah. I mean, I've been pretty vocal about my criticisms of AARO as well, especially with the past leadership. I think even these congressional members and whatnot can agree that the new leadership at AARO is better and more open-minded, but you still have this overarching, looming, like Susan Goff presence, this Darth Sidious or Darth Sith Lord, I guess, if we're going to go with Star Wars, looming over it all. So I don't even know. I don't know. I won't say much more, but I have been in touch with representatives of AARO about just opening a dialogue with the UFO community, for sure. And I am speaking to someone at AARO who works for AARO, very important person who works at AARO, not Kozlowski. I don't want that getting out there. I'm not talking to Kozlowski, but I am talking to a very important person who currently works with AARO and is working with me to try to come up with a way that we could have a very good, productive civil conversation about what they're doing and, how that's perceived in the UFO community. At the end of the day, do they give a crap what the UFO community thinks? No, probably not. But I do appreciate that this person is even giving me the time of day to be like, look, we know there's things going on that we can't explain. We're trying to explain them. And if we can find those explanations, we will. So I don't know. I'm torn. But at the end of the day, I think this will be a very productive conversation if it happens. So
I don't think there's a downside, Brian. I think you can have this conversation and keep your skepticism just like you do and assess conversation by conversation as it rolls what you think, I don't see a downside. You're not going to allow you or this show to be used like Mark Christopher Lee was. That's not going to happen. So I think have the conversation. Maybe it'll be something.
Absolutely. I mean, what bad can come from a conversation at the end of the day? So I I look forward to it hopefully happening, and I really hope it does. So I'll keep you guys posted
Me too.
on that
I
as
hope
well.
so.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, someone else who's kind of putting their money where their mouth is, I guess, Suzanne,
Who
would
didn't
be
this
this
week, right?
this lady. Who didn't? Exactly.
Yeah, Ryan sets these goals on timing because we are trying to trim it down a little bit so everybody's not up quite so late. But it's like
sorry.
he's talking about the timing this week, and I was like, oh man, bad week for that.
I know.
So
I'm
much. Everybody
sorry.
had something to say about something.
I know. Stop making things happen in the UFO community, people. We need less to talk about. Not
We need a
more,
week
not
off.
more. We need a week off. Yeah, yeah. We did like 3 live streams this week.
I know, it's
crazy.
fun. I want to
Crazy.
do one this upcoming week.
We will. I'm already working on it. I think I
good.
got something.
You guys are
Um,
gonna have to come to the watch-alongs. We do them impromptu, but they're a lot of
Mhm.
fun.
Super fun. Go watch the one we just did this week. We did the Kelly Cahill UFO abduction from Australia. So much fun. Couple videos back, guys. Check it out.
And I can't get it out of my mind. I keep thinking about it.
Me too. Yeah, it's sticking with me, and that's a good sign. That's
Yeah.
a good sign. I think.
Maybe.
But let's move to Anna Paulina Luna. Her and several members of Congress are pushing for the release of 46 classified UAP videos captured by the U.S. military. Not summaries or redacted reports, but actual footage of objects that appear to defy known physics. If released, these videos could far surpass the impact of the Tic Tac footage, the Go Fast, all those, which alone forced the topic into mainstream attention. 46 videos could dramatically expand the conversation and force a response. So, what do you think? What do you think of these 46 videos? Mind you, they are supposed to be released April 14th, just a few days from now.
Around the corner.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I think. I think they need to release them, but they also need to release the metadata related to them so that we can get into the guts of them. When I say we, that's not me. I can't do that. But someone, our computer people, can get in the guts of it to see what we're really seeing and what the details of the videoing entail. I would love that.
Yeah. I agree. I think Mick West even put on his Twitter, like, these are the videos they're going to release. And he went through 46 of them, which he could be right. These all could already maybe be out there. They might be the videos that AARO has like released and already publicized. Or they could be brand new ones. We don't know yet.
Or they
We'll
could be
know.
longer versions of the ones we've seen. I think
Good point.
everyone can agree, like Tic Tac and Gimbal, we do not have the full video.
Nope.
At least those two, maybe more. So,
Right.
Maybe we're just going to get actual full-on start to finish video.
For sure. There's witnesses of the Tic Tac event who've seen the videos and have said, that's not the whole video.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Do you think those are going to be housed at alien.gov?
Maybe so, or aliens.gov, whichever one they choose to use, our government in
Yeah.
action. Why do we have two? Why do we have two? Did
I'll
somebody
tell you
get a
why.
typo? Why?
I think one is going to be UFO alien related and the other will be immigrant
You
related.
think so?
I do.
Wow.
I do.
And do you think they're making them so similar just to enjoy a little confusion?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
This stuff, they don't just come up with this like
Right.
out of thin air. This has all
Surely
been planned. They bought Alien and aliens.gov for a reason. I think this is a way to, I don't know. I don't know why, but that's what
We're
I'm
all
guessing.
going to hide and watch is what we're going to do. See what comes.
Exactly. Michael Huntington says how the list was obtained and who the classified info was given to needs to be investigated. Yeah, agreed.
And where's it been all this time? The lawyer in me wants the history on where it started, where it went, who's had it since, was any editing done? So I think metadata would help with some of that. A chain of custody, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. All very good points. For sure. Okay. Let's move to our final story of the night, a fun one.
Okay,
I think to end the night on. We're gonna watch the whole video because it's awesome.
Yeah.
This story, guys, came over our desks within the past 24 hours. And it is, I love it. This is the kind of stuff that just brings so much joy to my heart. Whether it's authentic or not, I don't know. But this man clearly thinks it is.
He does.
Who is this man? That is Gary Arnold you're seeing on your screen if you're watching this. And the headline here, Suzanne reads, 3-time lottery winner says aliens gave him the winning numbers. So a little bit about Gary in this here before I play the video. Gary Arnold, a Pennsylvania man, claims that alien beings helped him win the lottery on 3 separate occasions by communicating to him via electronic voice phenomena, or EVP, something I am very familiar with my ghost hunting investigations.
Yeah.
Yep, you too. And he also thinks he's got these communications via visual patterns, he says, appear in spectrogram generated images. So in 2022, he scooped $17,500 playing the Pennsylvania Lottery's Pick 4 draw. And then 2 years later, he won another $27,500 on the same game, which is crazy. But
it's incredible.
He won another one too, which we'll get to after the video. But he believes that this all came through communications that he's had with what he terms. I'll let him describe.
Okay, we'll run the video.
Should we watch the video? I might stop it even. It's kind
Okay.
of like one of our watch-alongs, and we'll break it down. It's not that long, guys, I promise, but it's a good length, and I think it'll be fun to cap things off with tonight. Let's go ahead and play this for you. Good old Gary Arnold. What I would give for one of those, not the big check, but an actual check.
Exactly.
That we might not be alone on this earth. Aliens, angels, ghosts, whatever it may be, one Pennsylvania man thinks that he has an idea of what's going on. I'm Grace Miller. I'm a digital content producer here at CBS 21 News, where I recently spoke to an Oxford man named Gary Arnold. He says for the past 10 years, he's been contacted by these alien beings he calls intangibles. I've been able to verify parts of his story, including his lottery wins. I've seen record of contact between him and some of the people mentioned in the interview. I've even reached out to the CIA to ask about some of these stories, but of course never heard back. Gary lays it all out there. He understands that people might be skeptical and might not immediately believe what he's saying, but that's okay. He just wants everybody to take a look at what he's got, all the evidence, and decide for themselves what might be going on.
So, tell me, what are you? Are you spirit? Are you alien? Or something else?
I call them intangibles.
Intangibles, okay.
Yeah. I originally I was like, well, maybe these are ghosts.
Yeah.
And then I asked questions to find out the answer to that, and they say they're alien and otherworldly. Worldly.
Are you otherworldly or other dimensional?
December 2017, all right, the students had gone home. I worked at the university, Lincoln University, and then it's an HBCU, and we had a holiday party right before Christmas. And usually I go to the university library, which is the Langston Hughes Memorial Library. And I go to the top floor and I do free reading there. And most of the time it's during my lunch break to escape the students. But after the little holiday party we had, I went to the top floor of the library, and I thought I was going to read, at the time, Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, which actually is, everybody's seen the TV versions of it and the animated version, but it's really a short story. So I thought, I can sit down and read this and get kind of in the holiday spirit, all right? And when I was getting ready to do that, and there's nobody in the library except the one librarian on the bottom floor, but I'm at the top, and I get this really strange noise in only my right ear. And it sounds crystalline. It's really a high frequency, almost. Have you ever heard bats and stuff flying around? If you have really good hearing, you can actually hear some of the echolocation the bats do. And I say it's like insect or bat, but it was a strange ear ringing noise. I've had regular ear ringing from concerts and stuff, so this was totally different. This sounded so strange, and it was only in my right ear. And I thought, what is that?
I want to stop it for just a sec, Suzanne. What is that ringing condition people have? Tinnitus?
Tinnitus, that's it.
Yeah, I have that.
Do
and
you?
I have it
Well, how are you
Really
going to know
bad.
if the aliens are trying to give you lottery numbers then?
Right? And it's in my right ear. Should I start playing the lottery?
Start writing it down, whatever comes to mind. Let's see.
Oh my God. This is crazy. This is crazy. All right, let's keep hearing from Gary. Whoops. Oh, I did it. I really done it now. Let's see.
Floor, but I'm at the top, and I get this really strange noise in only my right ear.
Okay.
And it sounds crystalline. It's really a high frequency, almost. Have you ever heard bats and stuff flying around? If you have really good hearing, you can actually hear some of the echolocation the bats do. And I say it's like insect or bat, but it was a strange ear ringing noise. I've had regular ear ringing from concerts and stuff, so this was totally different. This sounded so strange, and it was only in my right ear. And I thought, what is that? And then a thought came into my head, all right, and I'm just about to read A Christmas Carol, and this weird noise is happening, and I have an old track phone, all right, and here's the model. It's an Alcatel A205G, which today is known as a burner phone, all right? A lot of people think it's not a smartphone. It's completely unsmart or dumb. It only does a couple of things, but it does have a digital voice recorder on it. And I thought to myself, I got this phone in my pocket, $5 at the local Rite Aid. And I was like, wow, I wonder if I could record this strange noise that I'm hearing in only my right ear. So I put it up and I record for a few seconds. And then I was like, okay. Upon playback, I thought I was going to hear this maybe squelch or frequency because I couldn't figure it out. But instead, I hear a whisper. And the whisper says my name. Now I look around and I'm like, okay, somebody's spoofing. What's going on? Because this is strange. And it says my name, it says Mr. Arnold. It's very formal, almost like a student would say to me. And I'm kind of like taken aback. And so what you're able to do is you're able to take the clips from this phone, you can download them, and then there's free open source software online. You could amplify the volume of every MP3 or anything, or wave clip. So
this phone is
sure enough, when I amplified it, my name, Mr. Arnold, was loud and clear. Now I go home after this, been very perplexed, and I'm like, well, I'm like, this is really strange. So I told my wife, I said, this strange experience, and of course I shared the clip with everybody and family, and I said, this is really strange. And then I started thinking, what does it mean? And it's because it's very personal in the sense it's my name. So I said, well, after the break, because we had our holiday break in just a couple of weeks, like 10 days, and I thought, is lightning going to strike again? All right. So I went back to the university library, and sure enough, I asked a question this time because the ear ringing returned, and when the ear ringing happens, that's a cue that tells me they want to communicate. So I'm not always getting this strange. I can't summon them saying, "Hey, I want to talk right now," because that'd be great. I mean, but this time I asked the question, "Is there anybody there?" Upon playback, before I asked the question, which is. It's strange because as we go down, and I talk more about this, it's customary. Our understanding of time is linear, but they're answering questions most of the time upon playback before I ask the question. And the voice said, yes, people. Okay, now I'm thinking, this is so bizarre. Am I losing it? I have a clip that says, go to the lottery, Powerball.
Wow.
Analyzed, there are these numbers. I played. Now, it didn't give me the jackpot, because obviously the millions, but it gave me a substantial win again. And the Pennsylvania lottery confirmed everything. And that's the thing. So I've been trying to bring this back to earth in the sense, I'm nobody special. I don't know why this fell into my lap. Last year, I was on every lottery kiosk and terminal all across the state of Pennsylvania. My ugly mug holding the check. And it's saying, lightning strikes twice and then a repeat winner. It's true. The Pennsylvania lottery will confirm my big wins. They will not confirm my technique because they said that is the thing. It's out there. Right? That, people can, and I said, well, is there a problem with me winning money this way? They said, no, and we've talked about you, and guess what? We consider what you're doing the same as going to see a psychic. We can't tell you not to do that. He said, but the idea is if you win too much, too often, then there's going to be the blowback where somebody's going to say, you have an unfair advantage, all right? You're winning because you have insider information. The beings claim to be alien, all right? And they claim to be otherworldly. Because I was like, are you a spirit? Or, I wanted to go down the whole category. Say, what are you?
Are you otherworldly or other dimensional?
The beings are here. They're watching all of us, every day, every night.
So, tell me, what are you? Are you spirit? Are you alien or something else?
Like the one clip of this winning number. All right, this number was 1111. All right, it's on my YouTube channel. I'm with my wife. We're one of my tropical pigeons, the rainbow pigeon, which we call sherbets. All right, so we had him outside and showing him some paparazzi thing and filming him. And upon playback of the film of the pigeon on my finger, there's an EVP there, and I listened to it. It was a little boy sounding voice saying the number to play the lottery.
That's creepy.
That is.
And then there's a voice afterwards that sounds synthetic. So you have this interaction. You have a angelic voice saying 111, go basically play the lottery, and then you have a voice saying add salt, and that sounds synthetic. I don't know what add salt means, but I went and I played the lottery. I time-stamped it in advance that day. I even did screen captures of the time 11:11 in the morning, and at evening, in the late afternoon, I played the number, and that night I won. Again, this was the second time of winning, and my wife's there, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is great, and and then I went to the FM radio 98 Rock, and because they had me on before, I said, guess what? I just won the lottery again. Come on down to the studio. You can't make this stuff up because number one, everything I'm saying is independently verifiable. All right, you can go and you can look at my digital footprint. I'm not hiding anything. I bring the big check here from the lottery. The lottery website has my picture holding the check, and I've won more than once. I was on every lottery kiosk and terminal last year because of my success. It's all real. The aliens are real, but they seem to be. The word alien is the right word. I mean, it's so unlike us. I have a Google Voice account, which is with my Gmail. It's a free phone number. The idea came to me, play the EVP message where the little boy's telling you the lottery number to play. Play it into Google Voice and see what happens. Sure enough, it opened up a whole new conversation with these beings. We're talking about whatever they are, and I say intangibles, they're trying to reach you where you are. I've consistently been told the reason this has been happening to me is because I'm open to it. That's it. I just want you to weigh the evidence and come to your own conclusions. And I believe that, if you are sincere and open-minded too, you can interact. That's what I'm confident of that.
Well, I'm open too, but they're not giving me any numbers.
Right?
Rude.
I know you guys are giving this guy so much guff in the chat.
That was so funny.
But I mean, the money speaks for itself.
I
Three
know.
times. Now, I want to stress this third time he won. He was 2 numbers short of the multi-million-dollar jackpot. 2 numbers.
Unbelievable.
And 2 years later, he won another. I'm sorry. This time he only won. This last time, the third time, a few $100s. So he just missed the multi-million by a couple numbers. So either the aliens were messing with him, or they were a little bit off.
They're just a little bit off, or he misheard it. There was a documentary years ago, and it was probably in the 90s, about this couple somewhere in America who kept winning the lotteries in huge, like millions and millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. And they weren't cheating, but they were working it in a way that hadn't been done before. And I think whatever lotteries were involved, they ended up having to change how they did it as a result of this couple continually winning. So,
right. I think there was a movie.
Maybe he's found one of those loopholes.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I think there was a movie they made about that couple.
There was. There's a documentary out there, I think.
A documentary,
and I think it was even on 60 Minutes or 48 Hours or, one of those shows.
One of those, yeah. I think there might have been a fictional movie made too with Bryan Cranston, if I'm remembering correctly. But like that stuff happens all the time. Look at like these people who crack the what do you call that? Like The Price is Right, Jeopardy.
Oh, yeah.
Like there are these people who have cracked the codes of these game shows and have gone
Mhm.
on to like win millions and millions. Like, but this is interesting. Now, I will say a lot of those EVPs he played back were insanely subjective, as they
Yeah.
always are.
Right.
I was not hearing what he said, but like again, it almost doesn't matter
It just
at
doesn't,
the end
does
of the
it?
day.
Yeah. Right.
Like this dude keeps winning lotteries. If he wants to say it's thanks to aliens, there you go.
There you go.
He has just as much right to do that as Chris Bledsoe has to say that his UFOs are God. I
Darren
guess
has found the movie.
Jerry and yep,
The documentary. Thanks, Darren. Yeah.
yep. So I don't know. I thought it would be a fun way to end the
That's
night.
a
And
great
you know
one.
what? We could judge him all we want, guys. He's the one rolling around in bed with all that sweet
Going to the bank. That's right.
Yep. So he is literally laughing at you all the way to the bank. That's the way I'll put it.
Oh, we're laughing over here. I wish him well. I hope he's right.
do
May
too.
continue. And
He
may
seems like a
share
fun
the
guy.
numbers. Yeah.
For sure. He seems like I would want to hang out with him. I would.
Yeah,
You
Michael
should have
Huntington
him as a
doesn't-
guest.
Yeah. Michael.
That's not a bad idea. That is not a bad
Reach
idea. I'll
out.
see.
We'd have to behave in the chat, people. We'd have to
We
behave.
would. We would have to behave for sure. He seems like a fun guy. He seems like he could joke around about
I
it
think he probably can. Yeah.
for sure.
If you're going to
William-
tell people that aliens are giving you lottery numbers, you're going to have to take a little heat.
Yeah. And I think he can take it, at least what I can tell. Well, you know who wasn't joking with me?
Who?
Grant Levac, who joined me
Oh.
on the podcast, which will be dropping in just a couple hours here, guys.
Oh, excellent.
On the main feed. We covered the Westall UFO incident 60 years later. It is the anniversary of the famous Australian case, UFO landing case, where hundreds and hundreds of school children and teachers witnessed a UFO land near a high school in Westall, which is in
Yeah.
Australia. And
Looking forward to this.
oh my God, Suzanne, it was such a good conversation. And we also included some exclusive interviews with the primary witnesses that Grant was able to get. He went and interviewed a bunch of the witnesses. So we're going to be playing those for you guys. We got some rare archival footage of James McDonald, the UFO researcher, interviewing the school teacher who came forward and said that he saw this all as well.
Yeah.
Awesome conversation. It's available right now on Patreon if you guys want it early. Otherwise, it'll be out in just a few hours on the main feed of the podcast. So be sure to rate, review, and subscribe there for all of that. And do I have anything else here? Oh yeah, our Kelly Cahill watch along we did
Yes.
this week. Check that out
Yes.
in the archives as well. That's all there for you guys. But wow. 2 hours, 9 minutes we've been going. Let's get the heck out of here.
That's okay. That's all right.
We'll
We
get
did
the
it.
heck out of here. We did it, guys. We stayed under 2.5 hours at least. I promise we will keep shaving these things down. It is completely my fault. But thank you, guys. Thank you for those watching us vertically, those watching us landscape, those listening in the future on the podcast. We appreciate all of you being here. 650 of you watching live tonight across
Crazy.
all
Yeah.
platforms. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you to all of our super chat and super stickers one more time. And new YouTube member Hut 99999, Constellation, the Pocket Dog, Michelle, Gareth, and Amanda. And that's it. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for all of that. Suzanne, you got anything coming up before we get out of here?
No, I'm doing good over here. Hope you are too. And bye to everybody because I don't think my comments are showing up in the chat.
Oh, we will figure this out.
We've got to. That's
it
what
is
I'm going to
almost
work on this week.
Please, yeah, somebody has to. I was going to say it's almost as enigmatic as James Lacatski. Story for another time.
Exactly.
Story for another time. We
Oh, the
didn't get
poll.
there tonight.
The poll.
Oh, poll.
Thank you, Rainey.
Thank you. What would it be if I didn't forget the poll? All right.
It's in the outline now. Forget the poll. Remember the
know.
poll.
Yes. What did I ask? Oh, will Logan Paul show the Chuck Clark UFO video on American Alchemy? Ooh, pretty divided here. 31% said yes, 20% said no, 21% said the what? 28% said no idea. So, wow, it's pretty even across the board. More yeses than no's. You guys are hopeful. I like hearing that. I'm excited to see it for sure. I hope they show it. Yeah, let's either have our minds blown or let's put this thing to rest.
Agreed. Completely.
For sure, for sure. All right, that's going to do it, guys. Like, subscribe, comment below the video. All that stuff helps us get boosted up in the algorithms. Again, rate and review. Your code word is ORB. Put that in your Apple Podcast review or your Spotify comments. And yeah, we appreciate everything you do. All of you. The listeners, the viewers. I can no longer talk, so that's a sign that we need to go.
Time to get off.
We got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. So thank you, guys. And I will leave you, as always, with our mantra here. Keep your feet on the ground, but never stop searching somewhere in the skies.
Reports of flying saucers are nothing new. From the beginning of recorded time, men have been seeing unexplainable things in the sky, and there's no reason to doubt they saw something. The question is, was what they saw really there? And what was it they really saw?
There's nothing to hide. There's nothing to hide at all.